All right, so we're switching things up a bit for this deep dive.
Oh,
Yeah, usually, we've got like a whole stack of articles and interviews and stuff.
right.
But for this one, it's just you and me and a single movie review.
Okay. Interesting.
And I gotta say, I was a little skeptical at first, like how much can you really dig into just one review? But, it's for Ordinary Angels, which I've heard good things about, and it's got Hilary Swank, so I'm kind of curious what this one review has to say.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's definitely different, but I think we can still unearth some pretty interesting stuff even from a single review.
All right, well, I'm all ears. So, first off, where'd this review come from?
This one comes from MovieKaTicket.com. It seems like a site that helps people decide what movies to see. Gives them a rundown of what's out there.
Okay, so like a general audience kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we can probably expect a pretty straightforward review. Hits the main points, keeps it engaging, but maybe not super in-depth analysis.
Gotcha. All right, so what's the main takeaway here? What's this review telling us about Ordinary Angels?
Well, the review calls it a faith-based drama, which is interesting in itself. And apparently it's based on a true story.
Oh, wow. Based on a true story, huh? I always find those kind of hit different.
Yeah, me too. There's just something about knowing it really happened that adds another layer, And on top of that, it takes place during the 1994 North American cold wave.
Whoa, okay, so we're talking like serious winter weather.
Oh yeah, sub-zero, temperatures, blizzards, the whole 9 yards.
Man, it's intense. So not only is there this whole, dramatic story unfolding, but it's happening in this backdrop of a natural disaster.
Exactly. It automatically raises the stakes, The characters aren't just dealing with whatever personal struggles they're going through, but they're also facing this really harsh external threat.
And right in the thick of it is Hilary Swank playing a character named Sharon. She's a hairdresser, and apparently she's dealing with some personal demons.
Yeah, the review talks about how Swank really captures this character's inner turmoil, her struggles and her determination to overcome them.
See, that's what I love about Hilary Swank. She always brings this like raw honesty to her roles.
Totally. And I think that's going to be a big part of what makes her character's journey in this film so compelling.
Yeah, like how does she navigate these personal challenges while also dealing with everything else that's going on around her?
Right. And the review hints that it's actually through helping others that she starts to find her own way.
Interesting. Okay, so we've got this intense setting. We've got Hilary Swank battling inner demons. What else is the review highlighting?
Well, it talks about the director, Jon Gunn. Apparently, he's known for making films that balance, like, despair and hope, They're not all sunshine and roses, but there's always this glimmer of light.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, like even with this cold wave setting, there's probably this sense of hope and resilience shining through.
Exactly, and the review even mentions how the cinematography plays a role in that, especially in the scenes where the community comes together to clear snow.
Oh, wow. I could just imagine those shots.
Yeah.
Wide open landscapes covered in snow, and then these tiny figures working together to make a path.
Yeah, it's like visually representing that struggle against the elements, but also that human determination to overcome adversity.
And that seemed to tie into the whole message of the film, right? Like the review talks about selflessness and unity.
Exactly. It's about ordinary people coming together to achieve something extraordinary. And, that's a theme that always resonates, especially when you see it play out against a backdrop like this.
For sure, like in the face of this massive cold wave, all these individual differences kind of fade away, and it becomes about helping each other survive.
Right. It's like this reminder that we're all in this together, and that's something that I think people really crave, especially in times when the world feels divided.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, so Hilary Swank plays Sharon. She's kind of at the center of this. Who else is in the cast?
Well, the review mentions Alan Ritchson. He plays the child's father, Ed Schmitt.
Okay. And what's his role like in all of this?
The review praises his performance for adding depth to the story, so I'm thinking he might represent, like, the community's struggle as a whole.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He's the one directly facing this crisis, but he's also a symbol of everyone else who's trying to make it through.
Exactly. And Ritchson is a pretty good actor, so I'm betting he brings a lot of heart to the role.
Yeah, I can see this. So we've got this really powerful story, great actors, intense setting. Did this all translate to success at the box office?
Apparently. So the review mentions that Ordinary Angels earned $20 million against a budget of $13 million.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, definitely a box office success.
Which tells us something, it means people were drawn to this story. They wanted to see this message of hope and unity play out on screen.
Makes you wonder why, right? Like, what is it about this particular story that resonated so strongly with audiences?
I think it speaks to a certain human need. You know, a desire for connection, for stories that remind us of our shared humanity and our ability to overcome challenges.
I think you're right, and it seems like the reviewer really honed in on that because they end by talking about how even amidst life's storms, a single act of kindness can change lives.
Yeah, that's the core of it, isn't it? It's about finding those moments of light even in the darkest of times.
It's like a reminder that even small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect. They can make a real difference in the world.
And that's a powerful message to leave the audience with, don't you think?
Absolutely. So even though we only had one review to work with, I feel like we got a pretty good sense of what Ordinary Angels is all about.
Yeah, it's a story about faith, resilience, and the power of human connection in the face of adversity.
And it makes you think about your own life, right? Like, what are the storms that you're facing? And how can you be that ordinary angel for someone else?
Exactly. You know, where can you offer a helping hand, a kind word, a moment of support? It might seem small, but you never know the impact it could have.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on. So until next time, folks, keep an eye out for those ordinary angels. And remember, even the smallest act of kindness can make a world of difference.
Couldn't agree more.